Recently, I started coaching an aspiring entrepreneur I'll call Ted. Ted is an incredibly knowledgeable and talented guy who is smart as a whip. He knows his stuff, revels in gaining new knowledge, and has a ton of value to offer his potential clients. He has an excellent business strategy, fabulous writing skills, and he's highly receptive to feedback. In short, Ted has all the characteristics needed to be wildly successful. There's just one problem. Ted has a pretty consistent history of not following through on his commitments to himself. As a result, he's still slogging away at a full-time job he hates, taking small steps to build his business on the side, but stopping short whenever it's time to pull the trigger by being more visible or putting an offering out there. So, despite all of his positive qualities, he's been underachieving for most of his adult life, but cannot for the life of him explain why. I'm Dr. Patricia Thompson, a corporate psychologist and executive coach. I'm passionate about helping you to apply the science of psychology to become a better leader and achieve your career goals and have greater happiness in life. Today, I'm a guest speaker on Mr. Smart's YouTube channel, so subscribe to this channel to watch more animations based on my writings. Across the years, I've worked with a lot of clients like Ted who have big dreams, but for one reason or another, stop themselves short of taking the actions required to achieve them. And like Ted, many of them have difficulty articulating why they find themselves in this holding pattern. If this quandary resonates at all with you, I want you to listen in for 4 of the most common reasons I've found people procrastinate and what to do about them. The first one, a deadline-oriented work style. If you have this sort of work style, you get your juices flowing when a deadline is imminent. So the classic example of this would be completing a 10-page paper the night before it is due. While this quality is great for being able to deliver under pressure, it becomes a lot less desirable when a task doesn't have a set timeline. So if you're an entrepreneur like Ted, or in a similar field in which deadlines are ambiguous or self-imposed, you might find yourself having difficulty mustering the motivation to work with the sense of urgency that you need to consistently get things done. What's the remedy? Map out timelines for your projects along with milestones and due dates. Then recruit an accountability partner. It could be your friend, a coach, or your boss, and that person will check in with you on a regular basis regarding your progress. The second part about having the accountability partner is critical though, because if you are the only one who knows about the deadline, you might be much more likely to ignore it or to delay it. What's the second issue that can come up? It's perfectionism. Are you someone who allows perfect to become the enemy of good? If you are, then in your quest to make sure that whatever task you're working on is absolutely flawless, you can end up spinning your wheels, unnecessarily fine-tuning it, but never completing it. The remedy? Honestly assess how important it is that a given task be done perfectly as opposed to being done well. Also, consider the cost-benefit analysis of spending additional time working on the task versus completing it and then being able to spend time on other activities. Based on your assessment, you will use your time accordingly. The third issue, feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes the size and scope of a project can be so daunting that it can seem easier to do nothing as opposed to figure out how to proceed. As a result, you might find yourself feeling paralyzed, uncertain about where to begin, and making no progress towards your goal. The remedy for this one? Remember the wisdom of Lao Tzu. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Instead of thinking about the massive amount of work it will take to reach the finish line, do your best to break the project down into more manageable parts. Then, set a goal of doing at least one thing to take action towards the goal every day, or week, depending on what time period is most appropriate for you. And as opposed to simply focusing on whether or not you've accomplished the end goal, make sure to congratulate yourself for the progress that you're making. The last issue that can get in the way is fear. Sometimes accomplishing a goal requires that you develop new skills or that you stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone. For example, in Ted's case, he was scared to make himself vulnerable and visible by putting himself out there. After all, what if people didn't like what he was offering? As a result, he was choosing the security of mediocrity and life dissatisfaction instead of taking the risks that could lead to his growth and success. The remedy? Albert Einstein said it best. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. If you want to achieve your potential, it will require you to stretch yourself, grow, and take chances. Remind yourself that research shows that people recover from disappointments much more quickly than they generally predict in advance. So, even if things don't go exactly as planned the first time around, you can gain valuable feedback from potential mistakes and come out better for it in the future. To close, as Benjamin Franklin said, lost time is never found again. I hope these tips will help you to get well on your way to ending procrastination forever and becoming more productive in moving towards your goals. Like and share this video with like-minded people if you found it helpful. And now I have 2 questions for you. Firstly, which of these 4 reasons of procrastination is the most relevant to you? And secondly, how do you plan to overcome your habit of procrastination after watching this video? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel or visit the website mrsmart.org to watch more content about smart and intentional living. You can also join Mr. Smart on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram through the links in the description. Live long, smart living.
My fellows, you will lead a happier, satisfied, and successful life when you follow the principles and life hacks mentioned in this animation. But we all tend to forget. 1 week or 1 month down the road, we shall forget the principles and rules that today we vow to stick to and follow. However, Mr. Smart has a solution for you in 1 word: repetition. Watch this video time and again. You've watched it today. You may watch it in 1 month from now, and then 3 months from now, and so on. And every time you watch the video, make an active self-analysis to track your trajectory of self-improvement. You can even keep a personal diary to note your observations. Live long, smart living.